how would you characterize the response from the constituents in your community? From the looks of it right now within this audience, although it's raining outside, these parents they came here for some answers, they came here for understanding. And what do you say, or what are your constituents saying right now to you in this moment? And how do you respond to them? Dr. Gallen?
Yes, thank you. I concur with everything that's been said, but I want to put a different caveat relative to us transitioning from what I often see, and I've seen it 30 plus years. Coming out of Liberty City, watching kids down on the street, watching us assemble as a group. This is a tremendously important moment. This is a moment, however, that cannot be guided, driven by emotion. It has to be followed through with action. So what I've heard a lot of times is we come to these particular places, these particular points, and we get trapped and caught up in the moment. We have to individually and collectively decide where we're going to take the moment and make it into a movement. And nobody has said it, but I'm going to say it. We didn't just get here. While tonight, tomorrow, last week is great, we gotta stop playing checkers while they're playing chess. A great man said years ago to a people that we cannot afford to continue to get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. While we thought the meetings was about masks, that the school board movement was about kids not wearing masks, we thought those moments were about masking children. But that was about a movement that was taking place right under our nose. And regretfully, we stand, we speak, we fight, but we can't stand, speak, and fight alone. We found ourselves having been subjected to, victimized by, and regretfully capitulated to a loud minority. We went through those school board meetings. We stood toe-to-toe with the Proud Boys, Moms for Liberty. Yes, they were there. But many of my colleagues asked the question, where were we? We see the moment is starting to shift, where those who were absent, and I do believe that silence and absence is complicity. We've seen this play run before, but we've also seen a strategy that works. You see, Brown versus the board was the catalyst for a movement where many people thought that it was a moment that occurred in a courtroom, but that was the catalyst for civil rights, for women's rights, for equity and opportunity. And all was centered around the education of our children. And I'll close by saying there's an African village that asked the question, not how are you doing, not how was your day, not how's it going, but how are the children? Any short-term and long-term strategy to undercut, diminish, divide, and destroy a community starts with its children. It starts with education. It starts with denying a woman a right to choose. It starts with all of those things that marginalize and decrease the population. And last but not least, this move started with eliminating our children to know their history. true history, accurate history, factual history. So my prayer is that this becomes a catalyst for a movement. Last thing is, a report asked me today, how do you feel about the individual not showing up? I say the loss of an individual is not a loss for me, it's a lesson. What have we learned? And I hope that this becomes what I've described as anticipatory leadership, that this is the moment that we engage in anticipatory activism, that we anticipate what's coming around the corner before we get knocked over the head.